For a long time, I had this idea almost last year that I was going to start creating lists of women that I personally find inspiring, whether it's women who are writing on Medium, YouTubers who are women, writers, authors, entrepreneurs, business women. I was looking for this list and I came across a series of tweets and Instagram posts by Betterbreed Cameroon run by my friend Monique Kwachu, and I thought, hey, it's March. The world already celebrated Women's Day just a couple of days ago. So why don't I start that series I've been wanting to start a long time ago with inspiring women? So the series is called Women Who Inspire. And on this particular video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 Cameroonian women alive and or dead who are inspiring my own journey and other people in their communities. Hey, my name is Kamga, and on this channel I create video content to inspire people who are on their personal legends and need just that next step in order to move forward. So if you're interested in videos like this where I share lists of inspiring people, reactions to things happening in the world, tutorials on how to actually create things on the internet, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, and there's a notification bell on the side which will allow you to receive videos whenever I make them. Now, let's get into the video. First up is author and essayist Calix Beala, who since she started writing in 1987 has written over 21 novels. She's received multiple prizes for her writing, including the 1996 prize for the Grand Prix du Roman de l'Académie Française. And according to the Literary Encyclopedia, she's one of the most controversial figures on the contemporary African literary scene and also among the most prolific Francophone writers of African origin. Just to give you a hint, here's the title of one of her novels, How to Cook Your Husband the African Way. A 1993 edition of the World Literature Today described her work as a set of daring texts in their narrative style, unmistakably feminist in their approach, strongly committed to the ideals of social justice and open to the possibilities of a better future for humankind in general and African women in particular. If you read any of her books or watch any of her interviews, you might get an idea of why she's considered as controversial as she is right now. And maybe it's because she's so fearless in her stance against any kind of oppression. Number 2. She's the first ever woman to run for the presidency in Cameroon. Edith Kabangwala, popularly known as Kawala, is a Cameroonian entrepreneur, politician, and social activist. I did not know she started her career actually back in 2007 under the Social Democratic Front, the SDF, which is the main opposition party in Cameroon. 3 years later, she resigned in divergence of strategy and then declared her intention to run for the presidency in 2011. That election was supposed to take place on October 23rd that same year. And in April of 2011, she then was elected the president of the Cameroon People's Party, the CPP, where she actually ran as the party's presidential candidate. Anyone who knows Cameroon knows how that election turned out. Kawala is also the CEO of Strategies, a leadership and management consulting firm which she founded in 1995. In her 2014 TED Talk, Ka was able to capture an idea that many people who actually know about Africa and care about the continent are very much likely to really believe in, which is this: Africa is not poor, Africa is poorly run. No matter how many roadblocks she's got, the fire she has to change the Cameroonian nation doesn't seem to be dwindling anytime soon. At number 3, we have one whose fire still burns even after she left us. Dr. Susan Njema Awe, popularly known as Dr. C. Her passion for education, medication as she used to call it, which was medical education and community building, rubbed off everyone who actually met her. She would create medical content in Pidgin English, which is a local Cameroonian language, simplifying complex ideas with the sole aim of getting people in communities who did not have medical care to understand some of these things, whether it was from depression to high blood pressure or how to feed better or how to see signs of illnesses before they become worse. She was always at the forefront of making this kind of content to make sure that people who cannot afford to have health care will be able to at least know and understand and take care of themselves better. And it didn't matter whether she was in Germany, where she studied and lived for most of her life, I believe, or in Cameroon, where her family and she spent a lot of her holidays and did a lot of her work on the ground in. Her love and her mission to share medical knowledge was almost unequaled. In December of 2018, she left us, and in her wake, many broken hearts, inspired to carry her legacy. May she rest in power. And I'll just take this moment to pray for her family and friends that they may find the heart to keep going as she's already left and just carry on the smile that she always seemed to have wherever she went. Number 4. On her Twitter bio, she says she eats trolls. And when she isn't voicing her opinion about the political or technology landscape of Cameroon, She's busy on the cover of Forbes 50 most powerful African women, actually Forbes Africa's 50 most powerful African women. And if she's not doing that, she's actually running the company which she founded in 1995. Rebecca Enonchong is the lady I'm talking about. Like she pointed out in her 2019 TED Talk, it's pretty unusual to be Black, African, woman, technology entrepreneur. But that's what's powerful about these women, isn't it? This whole unusual nature. Like almost every single one of these 5 women and the other women that I've seen had something unusual about them. One of my personal experiences with Rebecca's work and her fire as a whole was an article she wrote in 2016 on Medium, where she was talking about the real difficulty of running a technology company in Cameroon. It was an article about MTN Cameroon. MTN is one of 2 major telecommunications companies running a telecommunications network in Cameroon. And that article really opened my eyes to the difficulties that she was going through and how much you need to be, I'll say, resilient not to run a company in Cameroon of any kind, and especially a tech company. Rebecca has been very vocal, both online and offline, about her views on how to run a technology company and also her own views on politics of the country, including the Anglophone crisis which is taking place right now. She does seem to put her money where her mouth is. For example, her company, Upstack, the one she founded in 1999, actually donated office spaces for active spaces, which is a technology incubator based in Douala. So the incubator actually helps startup founders who have ideas to have a physical location, sometimes get workshops and maybe even funding to get those ideas forward. And personally, I do have my own negative views about active spaces in terms of the output of the industry or the incubator, but it doesn't change the fact that that space has created a haven for many technology entrepreneurs to actually commune, meet together and create things from almost nothing. She's not a politician, but she does really express her views about it. I mean, when I was doing the research for this particular video, I found out her dad was actually the pioneers who founded the Cameroonian Bar Association. So I can see the thread there between the activism or the parental influence of somebody who stands for herself, who fights for what she believes in, and who is not afraid of voicing her opinion. Number 5, you know how much she inspired my personal view on immigration, and on June 16, her second anticipated book, How Beautiful We Were, is going to be coming out. And you may have heard of her in 2017, back when Oprah was, raving about her book, and it was Oprah Books Club, and she was on interviews and she was everywhere. And she's no other person than Imbolo Mbue, Limbe born and raised Cameroonian writer based in the US. And her first novel took the world by the storm to be able to show that a Cameroonian writer, somebody who actually lived and was born in my country of origin, was able to be at such a global stage. Anybody who reads, anybody who knows about the literary scape in Cameroon knows that there have been many writers, many people who came out, but it's rare in this age of Twitter and the internet to have somebody write the kind of book that will get seen and heard of nearly everywhere. And if you haven't read the book, then you really have to read it. And in her own way, even though she's not as controversial as Calix Bayala, her storytelling prowess is on its own level. And whether it's a short story like the one that she published on Backup Magazine, or any of her articles in memorable publications like the New York Times, Imbolo really does set the bar pretty high for any Cameroonian who aspires to be a writer. And like her and people like Patrice Nganang and Calix Bayala and other writers who are living in the diaspora but still maintain those strong roots and talk about the communities in which they live and what they want to see for a Cameroonian nation, and especially inspiring a next generation of writers. I think that's something that's pretty dope. And to you, Imbolo, I raise my imaginary glass right here. The goal of every single video on this channel is to learn something. Now we've come to the segment that I like to call, what can we learn from this? Yeah, that was not the way I thought about it in my mind. Calix Bayala, even when she's interrupted in interviews or written off as controversial, she still continues to fight oppression wherever she finds herself. Kawala had the heart to run for the nation's highest office in a country where just thinking about it could actually get into trouble, if not even killed. Dr. C's legacy of a more educated community lives on in her mentees, her siblings, and all the people who actually came across her. And it's a way to show that you can carry on a dream, and even after you leave, if you have a dream that is so strong, people who love you can still carry that dream across. As for Rebecca Enonchong, she used her circumstances. Some people would say she was born into privilege. That did not stop her from working hard, building the kind of leader she wanted to do, take on challenges that people who look like her, women, were told you cannot be a tech entrepreneur in Cameroon, you cannot do this kind of thing. She decided that she was going to do it no matter what, and she's used every advantage and disadvantage that she's had to keep rising from the ashes of whatever she found herself in. As for Imbolomboe, whose book comes out in June 16, she had phenomenal success appearing on an Oprah show, going to places, earning $1 million as an advance for her book, but that has not stopped her from writing the next book, which is the thing that every writer does. A writer writes. That is inspiring. So all this to say, follow your dreams. Don't stop for the haters. Don't rest on your laurels, and smile while you fight for your heart. To see a longer list of such women, I've included a link to the tweets by Betterbreed Cameroon which inspired this video. You can check them out. I really think you should follow Betterbreed, especially for the whole month of March, where Monique is showcasing a lot of these women. Zooming in on this list to make a short 5 list, I really had to pick people who personally inspired me, and I saw a bunch of them. Honestly, I think I told you earlier how nervous I was about this. I'm actually worried that this video will not look the way I want it to look, but I thought if I don't make this video, then I will not have been inspiring the people that I hope to inspire myself. If this is the first time you're watching a video on this channel, thank you so much for clicking and watching this. If this is the second time and if you haven't subscribed yet, this might be a good time to subscribe to the video. Let me know in the comment section if there's somebody, a woman who inspires you. To you, I say good luck on your journey. Don't believe the world's greatest lie. If you've read The Alchemist, you know the world's greatest lie is at some point in your life, faith controls everything and you cannot do anything else, and that's the world's greatest lie, that you cannot change the way your life is moving. So remember, this channel is for people who want to follow their dreams and move forward, and I'm already talking too much, so I'm going to move forward and let you follow your dreams. So subscribe, like the video if you liked, and if there's a woman who is inspiring that you want to share, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.